Have you ever taken medications and read the long list of side effects? If you have, you may have seen serotonin syndrome listed. Welcome to Digital Drug Diaries, hosted by me, Isabella Zaffino. Today we will be discussing serotonin syndrome and its effects on the body. Let's begin with the basics. Neurotransmitters are chemical messengers that can be found throughout the nervous system. The nervous system has two main parts: the central nervous system, which includes the brain and spinal cord, and peripheral nervous system, which includes all other nerves in the body. Serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter, can be found throughout the entire nervous system where it has many different functions. In the peripheral nervous system, serotonin helps control physiological functions in our bodies, such as the narrowing and widening of blood vessels to control blood pressure, the narrowing and widening of bronchi in the lungs to regulate breathing and digestion. In the central nervous system, serotonin is responsible for modulating wakefulness, attention, aggression, and thermoregulation. Because of these beneficial effects on mood, antidepressants work by increasing serotonin in the body. However, when mixing medications, too much serotonin can accumulate, and it has adverse effects on one's body. Our nervous system is made up of cells called neurons. Neurons conduct electrical impulses via the movement of ions in and out of the cell. These electrical impulses relay messages to other neurons and our brain. These messages may continue as electrical impulses or as chemical messages. These chemical messages are neurotransmitters. Let's take a look. In a neuron, we can see neurotransmitters are in tiny sacs called vesicles. When an electric impulse reaches the end of the neuron, it will stimulate the entry of calcium ions into the neuron, and these ions are responsible for allowing the fusion of vesicles to the membrane, releasing its contents. This process is known as exocytosis. Once neurotransmitters are outside of the neuron and they get released, in this case serotonin, they can bind to receptor proteins on another neuron to help relay these messages to the brain. After this release of serotonin, it will re-enter the original neuron it came out of via serotonin reuptake transporters in order for it to be reused. However, antidepressants such as fluoxetine, sertraline, and citalopram are selective serotonin uptake inhibitors and will downregulate the serotonin reuptake transporters. This blocks the reuse of serotonin as it remains in the synaptic cleft, the space between adjacent neurons. This can be beneficial when treating anxiety and depression. However, too much serotonin will overstimulate receptors, causing too much activity in the neurons, which can be dangerous. This overactivity of neurons and serotonin are responsible for causing symptoms such as shivering, hypertension, fever, and many more. Typically, treatment for serotonin syndrome includes stopping medications to stop this accumulation of serotonin. Management of symptoms may include the administration of drugs such as benzodiazepines to help relax the body. In extreme cases, a drug called cyproheptadine may be used to treat serotonin syndrome. Cyproheptadine is referred to as a serotonin antagonist. That is, it will bind to serotonin receptors to inhibit biological responses. Because serotonin can no longer bind to its receptors, this overstimulation of neurons will stop. So one may take antidepressants to increase serotonin to help improve their mood, but sometimes too much serotonin can be damaging and have adverse effects on the body. Sounds a little counterintuitive, right? Our bodies are intricate systems. Like everything in life, but most importantly in the brain, balance is key. I hope you learned a little bit more about serotonin syndrome today and the effect drugs can have on the brain. Now, I hope none of you have to experience serotonin syndrome, and I wish you all to remain in good health. Thanks for tuning in.